Ouais, il n'y a pas ma tête parce que je suis sur Play, j'ai pas la caméra. On a essayé de brancher une autre caméra, mais comme c'est pas une caméra PlayStation, ils me la prennent comme micro. Ça n'a aucun sens. Avertissement, ce jeu contient des scènes d'horreur et n'est pas destiné à tous les publics. Veuillez vous référer à notre site web Tata pour consulter la liste détaillée des avertissements relatifs au contenu. Pour l'instant, non, il n'y a pas de son. Slay the Princess comporte des effets de clignotement de l'image et de parallaxe qui, en de rares occasions, peuvent provoquer une cinétose, mal des transports chez certaines personnes. Si ces effets occasionnent des symptômes gênants, vous pouvez les désactiver depuis le menu préférences du jeu. Mal des transports? Quelles que soient les horreurs que vous découvrirez dans ces sombres recoins, faites preuve de courage et poursuivez jusqu'au bout votre aventure. Aucune fin n'est prématurée, aucune décision n'est mauvaise. Il y a uniquement de nouvelles perspectives et de nouveaux départs. Ceci est une histoire d'amour, quoi. Alors déjà, ils me mettent direct surcharger une partie. Ça pose problème. Il y a un conflit d'intérêts. Bah ouais, j'ai pas de sauvegarde, pourquoi rompre? Préférence... Passer texte... Passer texte, non... Quoi? Ouais, le speech. Après les choix, transition... Quoi? Faux fixe? Ok, on verra plus tard ça, je crois. Donc, le résumé du jeu nous incite à tuer la princesse. Vraiment, je peux pas mieux expliquer le résumé du jeu que ça. Oui, c'est un truc chelou. Chapitre 1. Le héros et la princesse.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess, here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Ah oui, bah le chat est sur les choix, c'est pas mal ça. La fin du monde, vous pourriez être plus précis. Avez-vous envisagé qu'elle pourrait causer la fin du monde uniquement parce qu'elle est enfermée? L'exécution d'une princesse, c'est un peu immoral, vous ne trouvez pas? Personne d'autre ne peut s'en charger. Laissez tomber, je refuse de faire ça. Vous ne vous êtes pas dit que je n'étais pas contre la fin du monde? Si je le fais, vais-je recevoir une quelconque récompense? Ah d'accord, merci de me dire ce que je dois faire. Génial, j'ai toujours rêvé d'exécuter une souveraine, vive la révolution. Avancer vers le chalet en silence, tourner les talons. Je sais pas comment on fait, mais je vais tenter tourner les talons.
You're just going to turn around and leave. Do you even know where you're going?
Oh, vous lâchez pas le morceau. Bon, c'est d'accord, je vais aller au chalet et tuer votre princesse. Bon, d'accord, je vais aller au chalet et parler à la princesse. Peut-être que je la tuerai, ou peut-être pas, on verra bien. Mentir. Oui, oui, je sais très bien où je vais. Pas du tout. La chose la plus importante, c'est l'endroit où je n'irai pas. Le chalet, je n'irai pas au chalet. En fait, je serais plutôt satisfait en cas de fin du monde. Je me réjouis à l'idée d'une nouvelle différente. Bon, je vais marcher dans la direction opposée maintenant. Avancer en silence sur le sentier qui mène vers le palais. L'endroit où je n'irai pas.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Faire encore demi-tour et partir encore, ou d'accord, je vais entrer dans ce chalet. Faire encore demi-tour.
Wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Je m'en fiche, je vais pas lever la main sur une princesse. Parfait, peut-être que tout le monde devrait mourir. Voilà ce qui arrive quand on m'abandonne dans les bois et qu'on me demande de tuer quelqu'un. Ce chantage affectif ne me poussera pas à le faire. Avancer en silence sur le sentier.
Silence is deafening. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
Ça sert à rien de lutter, n'est-ce pas? Je dois rentrer dans le chalet? D'accord. Oh, vraiment? Eh bien, je crois que je vais partir dans une autre direction. Je vais pas y arriver avec le chat. Encore. En fait, je vais simplement marcher dans les bois jusqu'à ce que je trouve un moyen de quitter cet endroit. Alors, on va essayer au centre à gauche. Hop là.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin.
Je peux choisir de rester sur place, vous croyez?
An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be. Wait, what's going on?
Oh, on a une voix. Ouais, ce serait
You're
top.
too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more. You've doomed us all. You know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Ça, c'est le MJ qui en a marre qu'on fasse tous n'importe quoi. Hein? J'arrive quand même au chapitre 2.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Attends, alors c'est le même début que l'autre, mais c'est le chapitre 2, donc est-ce que je peux faire tout le jeu en évitant juste d'y aller?
You're here to slay her. If you don't...
J'ai une horrible impression de déjà vu. Attendez, on a déjà vécu ça. Oui, mais non. Vous ne plaisantez pas, elle a vraiment anéanti le monde la dernière fois, hein. De quel bois elle est faite? Espèce de salaud, cette fois je compte pas me laisser faire, je me laisserai plus avoir par vos stratagèmes. Mais je suis mort, le monde a été anéanti, qu'est-ce que je fais ici? Explorer. Ces murs n'étaient pas là la dernière fois. Effectivement, vous ne pouvez me forcer à aller vers le chalet. Mentir, ouais, d'accord, je vais pas aller au chalet ou je vais à coup sûr au Xera Princesse. Bon, j'ai compris, je vais au chalet. Explorer.
I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience. He might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet, and you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Mentir, ouais, d'accord, je vais de ce pas aller au chalet ou je vais à coup sûr au Xera Princesse. Bon, j'ai compris, je vais au chalet. Ah, mais attends, ça c'est mentir. Donc ça, c'est bien, ça.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you. A warning before you go any further.
Oh ouais, les murs.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
Mais est-ce qu'elle va faire popper des murs?
If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar.
Le contradicteur?
Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind.
Ok, je suis obligée d'entrer.
The cabin interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. It's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there,
C'est un
such that the
cadavre.
seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense. The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Le seul point notable, vous trouvez pas que le miroir, le mort au sol, en vrai, je pense pas qu'elle va faire popper des murs vu qu'elle veut détruire le monde apparemment. Mais je sais pas, le miroir, le cadavre, c'est notable aussi.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust, or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway?
Quand même, et la dague, c'est ça.
No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and
Autant de fois
straightforward
qu'il le
premise?
faudra, très cher. Est-ce que vous voulez que je lise les
You
dialogues?
can't just say that, but when everything here is so wrong. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action, save the entire world. And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves? Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay.
Oui, je les passe une fois qu'ils ont fini de lire eux-mêmes.
How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird.
Je l'aime bien, le
What you're
contradicteur.
seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard. Okay, I'm fine. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
Vous n'avez pas mentionné le miroir accroché au mur. S'approcher du miroir, prendre la lame, descendre au sous-sol. S'approcher du miroir.
Walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Le héros, un fou du ménage. Test psy. Cela veut dire que tu aimes bien être contradictoire. Non. Essuyez le miroir.
Reach forward
Oh,
and
wow.
rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
C'est quoi ça? Qu'est-ce que j'ai?
But there was a mirror a second ago.
Oui, le miroir, oui, pardon. Où est le miroir?
It's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll find it again, and then we'll see whatever it is that you don't want us to see.
Descendre au sous-sol, sans la lame. Allez,
The door
soyons
to the
fous.
basement creaks open, revealing a web of branching
Je suis un dragon, mais
staircases
tellement,
all
oui.
built from unidentifiable materials.
C'est totalement les mains d'un
Nothing here
dragon.
seems to belong. And the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odour that is
Il est en train de me
simultaneously
perdre, le
everything and
narrateur.
yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour.
On pourrait la libérer aussi.
Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Non.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
No, thank you.
Sur les escaliers de qui est bisé aux yeux, enfin tellement.
Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave.
Oui.
This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die. We don't even have a weapon.
Je suis pour faire demi-tour depuis le début du jeu.
But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin this day.
Prendre les escaliers de gauche, escalier face à vous, les escaliers réconfortants. Réconfortant, allez.
You step to the right. The path feels soft and reassuring against your feet. The stairs almost seem to cradle you as you make your way down, like they're guiding your heels from one step directly to the next. You barely have to extend any effort to descend, the stairway doing most of the work for you. You don't feel like there's any concern that you might slip or tumble or lose your way. But the further you go,
Wow.
the deeper you sink in. First, it's like a lovely plush carpet, your toes digging down and barely hitting any resistance at all. But soon enough, you're fighting just to keep your knees from sinking out of sight.
Le MJ, il a décidé de faire chier.
The softness threatens to swallow you whole, to wrest control of your body and surround you in a false ethereal bliss, pretending to save you from the cruelties of choice and consequence.
Les escaliers vont me manger, mais tellement. Je suis un dragon, je lance un dé pour essayer de m'envoler.
It's slow going, but you manage to fight against the overwhelming urge to fall back into comfort and nothingness, the very struggle to continue forward consuming your every thought.
Le MJ, il m'ignore.
You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go.
On ne proposait pas d'aller voir le
Time
cadavre d'ailleurs.
disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether. Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey.
C'était moi le mort, mais tellement.
To a destination long forgotten.
Est-ce que vous croyez que c'est genre les premiers dessins des zones, ceux qu'ils ont fait en premier pour avoir vite fait un aperçu?
Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that
Oui,
can
les
only
croquis,
be
c'est ça.
described as
C'est cool. Oh, petit cœur.
What the hell was that? What happened to us?
Elle a
I
plus
feel
main d'attacher.
so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to... He's just being an ass, we remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit, try and get our bearings. She seems normal.
Je suis désolée, je n'avais pas réalisé que j'étais là. Comment vous appelez-vous? J'ai vécu une expérience étrange en venant ici, comme si j'avais été déchirée puis rapiécée. Est-ce que vous savez ce qui m'est arrivé? Si ça se trouve, on vous a formé ici pour une bonne raison. Est-ce que vous savez pourquoi vous êtes dans ce sous-sol? Apparemment, vous représentez une menace pour le monde entier. On m'a envoyé ici pour vous éliminer. J'ai vécu une expérience étrange.
I don't know what happened to you, but you look like you're in one piece now. But I understand. Sometimes I feel like I'm being pulled apart too. It's so terrifying down here. But at least now you're not alone. And I'm not alone either. We're probably stuck down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out, and barely a way in.
Ça va.
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. And where there was once just one of her, there is now another.
Ouais.
We can do that?
C'est la question, ouais.
I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? You said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened last time?
Ah bon, j'ai dit que j'étais déjà venue ici.
Does it matter?
Ah non, c'est le contraire. Purée. Ça y est, je
Yes,
suis
it
comme...
matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it? Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them. If it's not already too late. You have a job to do here, and you need to do it now. Ooh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
Oh oui. Contradictoire, c'est toi du chapitre 1. Tellement, mais ouais, mais je suis d'accord, j'en veux plus. Votre présence s'est étoffée. Comment vous appelez-vous? Si ça se trouve, vous avez formé pour ici pour une bonne raison. Est-ce que vous savez pourquoi vous êtes là? Je vais vous faire sortir ici, essayer de la libérer. J'ignore votre véritable nature, mais je sais que vous n'êtes pas digne de confiance. Je ne peux me fier à rien ici, la laisser dans le sous-sol, récupérer la lame. Ah bah attends. Comment ça? Mais je peux pas choisir un des trois? Récupérer la lame ou ça, la lame? Bon. Votre présence s'est étoffée.
Not that there's much I can do chained up like this, but I'm the only one down here. So if you need anything, I'll do my best.
Non. Ah, c'est peut-être... Ouais, peut-être une continuité. Ah!
Something wrong with you. I'm the same as I was a moment ago.
Oui, madame.
I don't like where
Ah!
this is going. Neither do I. Which is why you need to slay her now before things get more complicated than they already are. How would we even do that? Where would we start? We'd always start by retrieving the blade. Can we even leave this place? I don't like thinking about what might happen to us if we have to go back through those stairs. Well, that's where the blade is. If you want it, you'll have to go and get it. I don't think we're going to be able to put her back. Kind of hurts to think about it, doesn't it? It's like everything we say just multiplies her. It certainly looks that way, so please, for the love of everything, stop asking her questions and stop stalling. You're obviously just making things worse.
C'est le jeu déceptif, les mains. Les mains, mais aussi au niveau des expressions de visage, c'est différent. Comment vous appelez-vous? Si ça se trouve, là, apparemment vous représentez une menace. Suite de machin. Comment vous appelez-vous?
Princess, if you'd like.
T'as pas de nom?
Princess. It doesn't matter. I've been down here for so long. What's the point of a name if
Elle me
there's no one
répond à
around
tour
to
de
use it?
rôle.
None of them have names.
Sans nom, sans titre.
I told you she was untrustworthy.
Ah, c'est pas une histoire de confiance. Si on lui a jamais dit son nom et qu'elle sait juste qu'elle est une princesse. Si ça se trouve, on vous a enfermé ici pour une bonne raison.
I don't know why I'm here, but there has to be a reason, right? You don't just lock a princess away in a place like this without a reason.
Mon petit cœur.
But you know, right? You have to
Ça passe
know.
tout seul les
You're
dialogues
the
en
only
fait.
other person I've ever seen, or at least the only one I can remember. Don't give me false hope. Please just end this already. One way or another, just do it.
Oh. Ah!
Boy, we both know why I'm locked away here. I'm a monster, and the second I get out of this place, I'm going to end the entire world.
Okay, this was fun for a bit, but we can't even really interact with her, can we? What's the point of asking questions if all we're going to get is a million
Justement parce qu'on
answers?
reçoit plein de réponses, c'est hilarant.
Can't even follow what's going on anymore. We need to get out of here. This whole place is making me itch.
C'est pas compliqué. Elle a un dédoublement de personnalité, on les voit tout en même temps. Si je vous laisse sortir, que comptez-vous
Are you
faire?
looking for the truth? Or are you looking for the right answer? What do you want me to say? That I'd be a good person? I'm a prisoner here, and whether or not you shoved me down here, you're practically my captor at this point. Anything I'd say is tainted by that.
Ah.
Besides, you already know what I'm going to do. If you want to put an end to me, then put an end to me.
Bah là, même si je voulais, ce serait compliqué en vrai. Vous êtes
At
cinq.
least aside from this blood and destruction, it's infuriating, isn't it?
Miss Carnage sanguinaire.
Whose buttons are there for us to press? Whose skin is there for us to get under? Not exactly how I'd put it, but I don't disagree. There must be something we can do. Asking questions just seems to make things worse.
Sauf si tu veux un harem.
This is reaching its breaking point. If you don't act now, there will be nothing in here but her. Take a deep breath and focus up. You can do this. But how do we decide what to do? Can there even be a right choice when all of them are so different?
Question
Stop
légitime.
overthinking it. Your drifting thoughts have clearly been part of the reason this situation has gotten out of hand. If you're trying to do the right thing, there's only ever been the one option, and that
Fermez les yeux et
option
faire quoi
is slaying
ça?
her.
Troum troum.
Just do something. Do anything. Do all of it, if that's what you want. This place is hell, and it's only getting worse.
Ouais. Ah bah j'ai plus le choix.
Wait, that's not right. Go on. You take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You
Ah, je crois
experience
que
a
c'est
firm
peut-être
footfall,
3
a
choix et
gentle
selon tes
tread,
choix d'avant, ça
a
en prend un.
confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions. You find the blade suddenly in your
Ah.
hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish in her.
Quoi? Attends, donc on la libère vraiment, puis on la
This is
tue?
what the end of the world looks like. What an unbearable mess. But this... we can't...
Ah,
Do you
différents
not have
faits.
anything witty to say?
Oh,
Could use a good bit of wit right
waouh.
now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening. And
J'ai
nothing
beaucoup de mal à
is
comprendre ce qui se
excruciating.
J'ai le chiche hein, pour tomber sur des jeux exceptionnellement étranges.
Nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all falls apart. I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and others, they just don't fit.
Non, petit cœur.
We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable.
Tu m'étonnes que c'est désagréable.
Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Fix us?
Oh.
We should help her. I think we did this.
Oui, 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 ça c'est nous, c'est
Surprisingly
totalement nous.
sincere.
On est bien d'accord. Il en tue une, il en libère une et ils s'enfuient face à une autre proie impossible.
It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please.
Tout ira bien, je vais faire de mon mieux. Je suis pas sûre qu'il faut remédier à votre état. Non, vous avez tout anéanti, je vais certainement pas vous aider, gardez le silence. Je vais faire de mon mieux. Waouh! J'ai pas eu le temps d'essayer de faire de mon mieux, de toute évidence. Le
She's gone.
miroir.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Ok, c'est le mien. Explorer, j'ignore où elle est partie, je ne sais même pas par où commencer. Le narrateur a disparu, je crois que je suis censé regarder dans le miroir, s'approcher du miroir.
I'm
S'approcher
begging
du
you,
miroir.
don't do this.
Explorer le miroir ne vous a jamais fait peur avant, l'ignorer.
It's
Le
different
miroir vous a
now.
jamais
It
fait peur avant.
feels, I don't know, final. Yeah, don't look at it. I don't like that thing.
Est-ce que j'ai vraiment le choix? Non, d'accord. Contemplez votre reflet. The Body, trophée obtenu. C'est vous. Vous vous retrouvez seul dans un espace complètement vide. Il n'y a pas un bruit ici. Avancez vers le chalet. Quoi? Vous êtes au chalet. Oh wow! L'approchez.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Explorez, qu'êtes-vous? Un réceptacle fragile? Est-ce que c'est la fin du monde? Laissez-la partir. Connaissez-vous le narrateur? Est-ce vous qui m'avez demandé d'ossir la princesse? Est-ce vous qui m'avez enfermé ici? Avez-vous des connaissances des mondes qui existent en dehors de cet endroit? Êtes-vous la princesse? Est-ce qu'on se connaît? Que fait-on maintenant? Attaquer l'entité, détruire votre propre corps? Laissez-la partir.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived
C'est une
here,
divinité.
she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt.
Qu'êtes-vous?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
J'ignore qui je
I
suis.
think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
C'est beau ce qu'elle dit. Connaissez-vous le
You
narrateur?
are the only thing I have ever known.
Ouais, c'est classe.
The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Avez-vous connaissance des mondes qui existent en dehors
I
de cet
know
endroit?
only that they are.
Est-ce qu'on se connaît?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
Êtes-vous la princesse?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
Avez-vous toujours été la princesse ou la forcez-vous à faire partie de vous?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
C'est quand même un peu d'importance, ça. Est-ce vous qui m'avez
I
informé
have
ici,
only
qui m'avez
just
demandé
now
d'oxyre la
stirred to
princesse?
consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Est-ce que c'est la fin du
How
monde?
can the world have ended if we are talking?
Certes, ce que tu dis est très juste. Un réceptacle fragile?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. These ones are a contradiction, a winding kaleidoscope of paths and wall. They are stretched into a shape not unlike me, but it is a shape they cannot hold. I am sorry that you met this vessel so early in your journey, but they will make for a rich and vibrant heart.
Hein? Aussitôt dans mon
Do
périple.
not mourn them, for they will finally get to know themselves.
Que fait-on maintenant?
Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Ne craignez-vous pas que je trouve un moyen de vous tuer? Qu'est-ce que je vais oublier exactement? Combien d'autres fragments de vous dois-je vous apporter? Et si je refuse de le faire? On m'a demandé d'ossir la princesse pour l'empêcher de provoquer l'apocalypse. Si je vous aide, est-ce que vous comptez réellement faire? D'accord, faites-moi oublier. Combien de fragments?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will
En même
find
temps,
their
c'est
own
dur
way
de
home.
faire moins que celle que j'ai ramenée. Ne craignez-vous pas que je vous tue?
I am not afraid to die.
Ouais, c'est une divinité, quoi. Qu'est-ce que je vais oublier
Everything.
exactement?
Until we meet again.
Si je vous aide, est-ce réellement ce que
You
vous comptez
ask
faire?
of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
Vous ne répondez pas vraiment à la question qu'allez-vous faire si je décide de vous
How
aider?
can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling.
J'en sais rien, quelque
and
chose sûrement.
illuminated.
Et si je refuse?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow.
Je ne vais pas y retourner, attendre. C'est tentant. C'est terriblement tentant. On le teste. C'est fou les propositions que t'as tellement. Oui, allez.
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
Attendre pour l'éternité?
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box
Est-ce que
for
je suis aussi une
safekeeping?
divinité?
If you
Je
close
suis
that
Dieu,
box,
aimez-moi.
will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage?
C'est très profond ce
You'll
qu'elle dit.
always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Je sais à quoi la voix me fait penser. C'est une voix qui me fait beaucoup penser à Circus Baby dans FNAF. Ah oui, bah j'ai beaucoup de choix, dites-moi.